Hey Flush Tube, it's Leigh from Creatively here, back with another bonus video for you this week. My 2024 Wip Parade. So basically, all the whips that I have that I will intend to work on, if not finish, during 2025. There are a few. I've set myself some rather ambitious goals. I certainly didn't achieve all the finishes last year that I had aimed for, but it is what it is. Yeah, so if you're new here, hey, I'm Leigh, FOSTuber, YouTuber from Upper Hutt in the Wellington region of New Zealand, and been doing this FOSTube thing for over 5 years now. Crazy. I'm into year 6 and stitch a lot. Okay, so without any palaver, I guess I will get cracking into giving you a quick walk through everything that I consider a whip, a work in progress. I do have 4 UFOs that I'm not going to show. I think they were all started in 2022. That was the year I did my 50 at 50. For one reason or other, I have parked them for now. Just a quick recap of what they are. I don't consider them whips at the moment. They're in the UFO, the unfinished object pile, and I'm kind of might end up picking up a couple of them. But one was the 1816 Verlander sampler. It's a really big Verlander, and it was the chart is from 3 magazine editions, I think, that I got off of Redley, I think. I hate the chart. It's just how it's charted. But yeah, anyway, I'm just not sure. I know Catherine offered to lend me, she's got a chart on a digital chart through, I think, CDs or something. But at this stage, it's just I've got plenty to work on, so it's just sitting there for me to worry about later on. Later on might be later this year, it might be next year, it might be never. But the other one is For, the carousel horse. It's the Teresa Wentster. I've got all 4 of them mostly kitted up. I started it on 32 count cream linen, which is what it's called for. I have an issue with it in that I've stitched all my other 3 Teresa Wentzlers on 25 count Lugana, and I have this thing, I have an issue with me, mild OCD, that I don't like it when there's some things I like to be stitched on the same fabric, not necessarily the same colour, but because the other's on 25 count Lugana, I kind of wish I'd started the carousel horse on 32 count Lugana. However, sorry, 25 count Lugana, but that will make it really massive, and there are 4 of them. So it's just on hold for now. I think I'm going to get over myself and just stitch the damn thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to go any further if I am going to change the fabric. I've also got Mary Rose something sampler that I started at really short notice with my dear friend Christine, and the size of the piece, it was a free chart, and the size of the piece, the only piece of linen that I had in my stash big enough without, ordering anything in, was I can't remember the name of it, but it's a really raw natural linen, and I hate stitching on it. The natural fleck in it, and it's a really tight weave. It's really hard to see. I'm about a third to close to a half through it. I love the conversion that I did, and I love what it looks like. I just hate stitching on the fabric. So on hold, either I'm going to restart it, and if I restart it, I might even change the colour palette. I'm not sure, but I feel like I might just have to, both of these ones where I've got issues with the fabric, I think I might just bite the bullet and just finish it on it, because I really like how it looks, and I got this far. So again, just waiting to see what's going to happen with it. And the 4th one, definitely going to be a restart, because I absolutely hate the floss that I chose, and the way I started stitching it. It's Forest Dreams by Isabelle Vautier. I picked a highly variegated cottage garden threads, I think it is, but it goes from green to a sort of rusty brown. I thought, oh, it might be like the trees in the woods, and because it's called Forest Dreams. And I started manipulating it. Hate it. It's a huge piece of fabric. I don't want to frog what I've got. I'll just cut it off and use that fabric for something else. But I need to get, I've picked a colour palette to stitch it. But I need to get another piece of fabric that's big enough. I need like a fat half. So that's just on hold until I get around to that. So those are my 4 UFOs. You won't see them because they're all going to change, or I show you small starts on fabric or floss that might change. Anyway, whips. I have a spreadsheet. Quick flick of what that looks like. I keep a spreadsheet, and I do a new, I have a spreadsheet for my stitching. It's got multiple tabs, multiple sheets, and I can just copy the previous years, remove the stuff that was finished, and everything's in order when I start it, reset my goals and stuff. So I have currently 18 whips, ignoring those UFOs. 1 is carried over from 2021, 4 are carried over from 2022, 6 are carried over from 2023, and 7 are carried over from 2024. So that adds up to 18 as at the 1st of January. It's now the 6th of January. I have yet to put a stitch into anything due to travel and getting this all ready for you. Because I keep a spreadsheet in order of when I start stuff, I can show you them in order of oldest to newest. Not difficult when Microsoft Excel does it all for you. I might update this as I go because I've kind of made estimates of where I'm at. But anyway, let's get cracking. First up, I don't even have a printout of the thing, but here it is. It's Save the Stitches by Liz Almond. It's a free, was it originally a sale? So it's in 24 parts. It's Liz Almond is the designer, and you can get it on her website, Blackwork Journey. Google it, you'll find it. Save the Stitches. Mine is on, reading backwards, tiny messy writing, 28 count antique white Lugana. I'm using a variation of the cord 4, so I am using the cord 4 DMC pearl number 12 and 310 in black, so stranded in black. And I'm also, I'm using the cord 4 DMC Diamond metallic, but I changed my colors. I think it's charted in gold, copper and silver, and I changed mine to gold, copper and pewter instead of the silver. And with Mill Hill beads, I just picked beads that were available at the shop when I kitted it up. They aren't necessarily the called for, and certainly the pewter won't be called for. I started this on the 1st of January 2021, and then got really carried away with stitching and whips and blah blah blah. I love it, but I just don't reach for it. I'm going to make a concerted effort. I think I'm about 20%. That might be generous. I'm going to make a concerted effort to stitch on this year. That's what I said last year. I didn't even touch it. So I do want to pick up. This is where we're at. I feel like I think I'm on to, I've stitched ahead with the background. I can't remember how many sections this is. It is either 7 parts or 6 parts. But anyway, this year, so I'll give you a bit of a close-up. So with the different infills and things, and I'm adding the beads as they go. There aren't a lot of beads, but enough to be a nuisance. So yeah, I really, really do want to make progress on this. I've put in, it'll be nice to get a finish. I don't think I'll get it. I don't know. We're gonna see if we can maybe dedicate at least a day, a fortnight. I don't want to say a day a week, so maybe a day, a fortnight, at least a day a month to this, and see how far we go. Whip number 2 is Mystic Moments from Heaven and Earth Designs. Mystic Moments 1, this chart was a rack from Danny. the Cardiff Stitcher, and I am stitching this on 20 count white Ada. Had a false start back then and started it properly on the 14th of January 2022. And I also have Mystic Moments too. It's kind of, God knows when I'll start, let alone finish that. This is certainly my biggest whip, and you know, I'm not under any expectations it'll get finished. I did get up to 16% this last year. I gave it a couple of stitchy sessions, and this is where we're at. You only saw this a few weeks ago, I guess, month ago maybe, and got a loose goal. I'm on about 16%. I'm going to shoot for 30. Am I going to get stuff to double that amount of stitching? It's a stretch goal, but hey, we'll give it a crack. Whip number 3 is Crowns of the Kingdom. This is a very slow sale that I'm stitching with Susie down in Rangiora. We started this on the Memorial weekend or Memorial Day we had for Queen Elizabeth II. So that was on the 25th of September 2022, and I am stitching mine on 32 count antique white linen using all the called for petite treasure braids. I gave, whoops, sorry about that, in 2023 I stitched this kind of quite regularly, did sort of 3 or 4 crowns a month, then kind of ignored it, and then at one stage last year I did a big effort on it. So I estimate I'm about 80%, maybe 75%. I might be a bit generous there. That's the top up here. Just got to fill in. Don't know what I'm putting in that middle cartouche yet. Maybe a memorial for QE2. And yeah, aiming for a finish in 2025. So there you go, Susie. I know Susie's been focusing on lots of other things, but I'm sure she'll pick it up eventually. So whip number 4 is Quinto Acuto, the pointed 5th from Long Dog Samplers. I need to get a wriggle on this. I've finished all of the bottom, a little bit up here. I've slashed it. I've said I'm about 15%. Maybe I'm not 15%. I'm not really sure. 10, 20, 30, 40. Maybe I'm about 15%. It's a guess. Stitching. I would like to finish this year, which would mean quite a big focus. So this is on 36 count Edinburgh linen in the colour Copper Beach from Country Stitch, using Silks For You PR043, PR0181, and 3 or 4 of the January 22 Silks of the Month from Silks For You. Started on the 10th of November 2022, which was my 3-year on Floss Tube anniversary. As you can see, it was one of my 50 of 50. This is where we're at. I gave this a little bit of love last year and got that bottom row completely finished. I had already stitched up the side here, so next up would be just to continue that next row and get the first lot of arches in. I love the colourway on this fabric. I love this fabric. Again, Copper Beach from Country Stitch is one of my favourite greys. I've stitched something else on this colour on a different count. Whip number 5 is Here Be Dragons or Here Be Wyverns it turns out, but whatever, mythology. Here Be Dragons by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is being stitched on 36 count parchment linen from Fibre on a Whim, and using Threadworks 1043. I also have lions kitted up on the same fabric, but I'll use 1040. My sister helped me pick the floss. This was a late 50 at 50 start back on the 4th of December 2022. Using Pattern Keeper, so I am at 17%. I don't think this got any love in 2024. I do want this to be a finish, so this is a very achievable finish. I just need to stitch on it. It's a very subtle kind of piece, but I feel like it gives it a nice vintagey look. I'm not being fussy with the over-dyed floss. I'm just stitching kind of just, you know, following the pattern. I like how it looks just vintagey and ancient. We're into the 2023 whips now. Next up is The Colours of Autumn by Historic Stickmuster. The designer is Dorothy Kanzi. And this is being stitched on 35 count white Zweigart linen, using a variation of the called for. So two of the colours I changed to make it look a little more like the mock-up. The orange and the brown didn't look like this when I got the floss, so, and helped me choose other flosses. I am a fraction over 50% because I've got a little bit of white stitched in this next section. There's a lot of white in the top half, which is kind of putting me off a little bit. I think though it's better if I stitch all the white and then do all the infill with the colours, because there's too much to count with doing the colour first. So basically I'm here, I've stitched a little bit of this white up here. Obviously these have a bit more colour, but yeah, sorry, in here. So I just need to crack on. I did have to buy some more white, which I've done. I just have to stitch it. So I have slated this for a finish. I really do want to get it finished. Whip number 7 is Under the Red Blues by Isabelle Harcourt-Vautier. I got this from her site in France. It's a very long band sampler. So I'm stitching mine on 40 count Cody linen from Country Stitch using Gentle Arts in the colour Claret. This was a start back in 2nd of July 2023, and I am round about 25% done. So I did give this a bit of love. I don't know what year I'm going to finish it, so I'm just waiting to put the year in there. And there is a little, what's above it? Oh, and then once I've got the year in, my initials will go above. There's a little bit of a gap there. The initials go there. I could put them in now, but I haven't. So yeah, 25%. It's a really long piece of Cody linen. Love it. I am aiming for 75%, so another 2 sections to be stitched this year. Whip number 8 is another Rosewood Manor. It's Sunrise. And this is one of the rare projects where I'm stitching everything called for. So the 32 count Bridget linen from Fabrics by Stephanie and the called for Weeks Dye Works. It's the first time I've stitched a project where I've used 2 strands of over dyed on, linen, and it feels like a real luxury because that makes it a really pricey project to kit up. But this was started as part of my the hashtag stash sampler starts. I did 8, I actually did 9 sampler starts in August and September with Narissa from Narissa Stitching Lifestyle. I want to get this finished this year. It's a big sampler. This is half the fabric, and that's where I'm at. So I guess do I think I'm 25%? What did I decide? Where am I? There. 1, 2. I'm about 33%. I do love it. It's beautiful, but it's quite big. So I'm going to put that in. I'm about 33%. I didn't have that in my spreadsheet. Cool. Whip number 10 is Cross Stitch Fun by Kesslins. This had a wee start as part of that hashtag stash sample starts, and then I put it on hold because I didn't like where it was going. I had originally intended to stitch it similar to this with some colours for some of the motifs. Don't like how it's going, so I think I'm reverting back to just stitching it all monochromatic. But I paused it while I made that decision. So this is on 40 count Copper Beach. Again, love that fabric by Country Stitch. And I was using my own conversion, which was a combination of DMC Silks for You and Victoria Motto Sampler Shop. I started on the 26th of August 2023 and then put it on hold. So what I have decided, and I've had lots of lovely feedback, I am going to pull out the variegated colour, and I'm just going to do monochromatic. I do love the colour palette that I pulled, apart from how very, it's too variegated, that one. But I'll use it for something else. So I'm going to keep the colour palette together. I'm just going to use it. So I just want to carry on with this, pull out that little motif, and then I think I'll be much happier. I am about 5% and I'm aiming for 50% this year. So yeah, not thinking I'm going to get it finished. That's half the fabric. She's a big in. Whip number 10 is Stone Street Stitchworks, Francis Sweet Love 1827, a reproduction sampler. It's this one here. I'm stitching something that is reminiscent of this, but I'm not following exactly where the colorway is. It is charted in 2 different colors. I think that infers that maybe she ran out of one color sometimes, or maybe it was just a really wild variation or dye lot, but I'm using 3 colors and stitching just a little bit random. So I'm on 40 count oyster by Country Stitch, using again my own conversion. Another hashtag stash sampler start, this one on the 16th of September 2023. And I am about 50%, and I've got all those blooming alphabets to go. So I have slated this for a finish. Alphabets do go quite quickly. The hard work was in the 4-sided stitch and the eyelets. The rest of it's pretty much all X's. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on with it. This has been personalised for my paternal grandmother, Elizabeth Beryl Green. She married my grandfather and became Elizabeth Beryl McDonald, but she always went by Beryl. Yeah, so this is, yeah, just to mark her time on this earth. Whip number 11 is Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. I love this so much and had thought I might get the border finished last year, but I prioritised other things. So this is on 36 count weathered linen from number 12 Stitch Co. This is probably one of my favourite pieces of linen ever. I love it so much. And I'm using Cool for DMC. I've added 2 colours in, just an extra dark of the pink and a creamy colour. Another hashtag stash sample start. This was my 9th start because there were 9 weeks in August and September 2023, so I just did a 9th start, 24th of September. And here we go. We've got most of the border. We've got just a little under, that top bit of the middle, that top bit of the border to do, and a little bit more on the inside border. So definitely get that border finished. So I estimate I'm about 45%. I would like to finish this year. The big house in the middle, it's massive, but it should be quite a quick stitch. You know, because it's just rows of, what is it, diamonds? I mean, the fence should be pretty quick, and the tree, like they're very bold. So actually a lot less going on in the middle than there is an extra border. And typically I find, again, it's an estimate, it is, this kind of border takes up at least 50% of the chart. So basically what I'm saying is the middle bit has a lot more structure, therefore it will go a lot more quickly. Man, you wouldn't think I did an English degree. We're into the 2024 whips now. So first up, we've got one of my first leap year sale, which is Women in Profile by Cross Stitch Collectibles. So this is going to be an ongoing, monthly sale for 4 years to finish on or by leap day 2028. This is on 20 count Ada in the colour Nougat, using all the charted DMC. Started on the 29th of February last year. And I am just on 20%. which is my goal for the year. My goal by the end of the year will be 45%, and that will be fantastic. So that will keep me on track. Which means that whip number 13 is my other leap year sale, the Precession of Princesses by Vistas. This is also just on 20% complete, so it's on track. Again, the goal will be to get it 45% complete. This one's on 20 count Ada as well, but this time ivory, again using all the called for. And this is where we're at as at the end of December. Such fun. They're such different projects, but I love that they're related based on the fact that they're both based on artwork by Vittorio Sechin. Whip number 14 is Quaker Alphabet by La Di Da. This one I started at the Christchurch retreat last year in March, 9th of March, so I want to get this finished before that. I'm going again this year. It's around a similar time, 8th or something, so I want to get this finished. This will be one of my priorities right now. So I like to start something different there. This is on 35 count vintage marble, using Weeks Dye Works in the colours Navy and Fathom. This was something I'd had kitted up for a while, and I was really happy to get it started. When I went to the retreat last year, I had not long found out that that my job was likely to be disestablished, so it's nice to know I'll be going to the retreat with a nice shiny new job. That's where I'm at. So I'm probably about would I be at 50%? I'm probably close to, I'm going to say about 45%, because if I had another row of alpha, I'd be happy to say I was 50. That's it there. Love it. It won't take me that long to finish it. I just need to do it. I'm going to add 45% to my spreadsheet. Whip number 15 is the Needlecraft Shop from Ellie Jenks. This is one of her 3D buildings from the Bright Sea Village collection. Started this on the 29th of June with as a really, really loose stitch along with my friend Anne. She's stitching one of the other buildings, and we intend to swap the charts sometime in the future. I'm using called for, and it's on 18 count interlock canvas, and using DMC and the Mill Hill beads. I got a little bit more stitching on this done last year. Quite keen to get this section finished so I can get some of the back stitching in. I won't leave the back stitching till the end. I'll let it go on there. This is just one end of the building, so no goal for this, no idea what percentage I'm at, no goal for it. I just want to make progress on it. Whip number 16 is Birdie Boulevard from Carolyn Manning Designs. This is one of their Here It Takes a Village collection. I've stitched two or three, I can't remember. I've either stitched two, I know I've stitched two. Have I stitched three? Done the gingerbread one, that was Christmas, and I've stitched two of these. And there are 5, I think, in the collection. So this was a start on the 5th of May 2024. I feel like those are actually out of order in my spreadsheet because the Needlecraft I started in June. I just swapped that. This is on 28 count Lugana from Country Stitch in the colour Little Boy Blue, and I'm using the call for DMC, and I haven't touched it since just the initial start where I got the road in. I call it the road, it's the town square. So yeah, I just need to pick it up. I've put a goal in to finish this. You notice how most of mine have goals to be finished? Wow, I've got to aim high. Whip number 17 is Vibrant Flowers from Kathy Barrick. This was a start at the Hutt Valley retreat. Again, this is a rare example of where I've kitted up fully from as the called for. I don't often do that. It's funny how I've done that with expensive projects like Sunrise. And similarly with Vibrant Flowers, I just wanted to stitch it with the called for needlepoint ink silks, and I had actually dyed a bit of fabric. Then my lovely friend Judith gave me a piece of 40 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax, which is the called for fabric. So I immediately went, yes please, and I'm stitching on the called for, so it's 100% called for. So here is my start from the 10th of August. I haven't touched it since. Definitely want to get this finished this year, and I have the only reason I haven't picked it up again is because I was just trying to get some other finishes, so that's why but yeah, it's now going to become a priority for me. So, and my final whip, my most recent start and not finish, is the Alexanders of Lynn Trathin 1829. This is a Hands Across the Sea sample. I've had it for ages. I've had it kitted up for ages. I finally got it started. I had been pausing because I'm personalising mine. It's going to become the McDonald's of Halbury. That is my great-great-great-grandparents who settled in South Australia around Adelaide area in a place called Halbury. And they had a bunch of kids. So the initials around the edge, I need to rechart for all of their children. And I'll probably have to add a few doofers in because I don't think they have quite that many people. What does it say? The Alexanders. I don't know. I have to make it up. So I think it'll say the Alexanders of Halbury down here. Alphabet at the top. We just need to chart their initials. So I put off starting it. I've got all the called for 103s of Irissoir. However, actually one of them's not the called for, it's a substitution. I don't know why, whether I asked for the wrong number or I got the wrong number. It's fine though, it's a dark red. And I've been put off because I hadn't got around to doing any of that recharting. Then I realised it's got a stitched border, like a outline. So just outline it and do that later. So then I started it. It's not on the called for, it's on for a piece of 46 count light hazelnut linen from XG Designs. And I started on the 1st of September and I haven't stitched it since. It's so dainty and adorable. Can't wait to do more of it. I've given myself a goal. I hardly count that as a start. Hey, Narissa, it's a start though. I have given myself a goal of maybe 25% to get probably, let's say, to at least get the bottom row done. So I think that's a third, that's a third, that's a third, and then around here, probably a bit more than a third. But if I get that and then some of the border going up, I'll be happy to get these funny little people in. That's my goal for this year anyway. Can't wait, really looking forward to doing more of that. Again, I just started it, so it was a start, but never intended to do much on it until this year. So yeah, that's my last whip. That's it. I've got quite a bit to edit out. There are a lot of, I should have explained before maybe, but whatever. I have put everything away as I've shown it to you. I had all the bags in order as I ironed everything. I put them, started ironing oldest to newest. Then I had all the bags in order as well. So where you see the little cuts and I had things in order. I better go, someone's calling. Take care, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.